I don't think that I've ever shared the story on here about the time I had to bury a dead person. Now, mind you, the person was already dead. I didn't kill the person. But where I used to live, this was a couple years ago, my neighbor was an actual grave digger. And he called me one day and he's like, hey, Mike, I'm going to be out of town on Saturday. Is there any way that you could, I've got a cremation. It's pretty simple. Just go pick it up, take it to the burial site and bury it. There shouldn't be any family there. There's really nothing going on. Like, it's simple. I'll pay you a couple $100. And I was like, yeah, not a problem. And this is, like I said, this was like years ago in my career whenever I was working in this old U-Haul truck that had been lettered up with all my company name. I was a soft washing company. And I had put in a long day. So I'm like, okay. He's like, it'll be ready about 3 o'clock. I was like, all right, cool. So I go to the funeral home and I'm talking to I guess it'd be the mortician, right? I was like, hey, and I kind of knew who he was. He knew who I was. I was like, hey, Shane sent me over here to pick up the cremation. I'm going to take it out and I guess bury it. And he's like, yeah, but just give me a little bit, Mike. The family's still here. And I was like, well, Shane didn't mention anything about family. He said I could just pick this up and bury it. And he's like, no, there's family here. And then mind you, I mean, I had been working all day. I'm filthy, right? Not to mention, I'm driving this U-Haul truck that says, like, Midwest Soft Wash all over it and rigged up with all my letters. And I'm like, hopefully just, I'm really hoping nobody follows me to the cemetery because this is going to be extremely embarrassing. But sure enough, the family finally like, okay, cool, we can go bury it. I put this urn in my passenger seat, right? I'm in a U-Haul and I'm like, dude, I hope nobody follows me. So I'm headed out, and I just see this line of cars following my huge U-Haul. And I'm like, in a sense, this is probably so disrespectful for the family. The family's thinking, what is going on here? Why is this soft washing guy hauling our old granny around to the cemetery? So I get there, and I pull her out. I'm carrying her to the grave site, and family's like now surrounding me, like, oh, are you the one doing this? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, is she in there? And I'm like, she's in here. And mind you, I've never done this before. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. They're like, can we see her? And I'm like, I'm a little curious too. So I'm like, yeah, let's. So I'm like halfway to the graveside. I prop this thing open. We're looking in there. You can see like teeth and like still fragments of bones. I'm like, that's crazy. And this mortician comes out of nowhere. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, we're looking at her. And he's like, get over to the grave. And I'm like, okay. But mind you, I'm still super embarrassed because I've got a whole line of family members following me to this gravesite. So I stick the urn in the grave and I'm like, he's like, start covering it up. And he's like saying as politely as he can, right? So I'm like, all right. So I just start shoveling dirt on there. I can hear people sniffling around in the background. I'm like, this is awful. I'm never doing this again. So I call my buddy. I'm like, what did you just do to me? And he's like, what do you mean? There's no family there. I'm like, dude, the whole family was there. Extended family, friends, everything.